So, good evening, everyone. This is Zahid Bashir. Our today's session is basically the training day six session, and it is intermediate level of SPSS data analysis. Today is 12th January 2024. Our session is basically timed between 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. and we will be discussing about assumptions of regression analysis. So today's topic is basically testing the assumption of regression using SPSS. I will conclude session one between 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. We might have a short break at 8 at 7:35 uh, to 7:45, and then we might have another break in 8:35 to 8:45. So let's start for today's part of the training session. The detailed contents includes why testing the regression assumption is needed, why it is needed, why we want to test the assumptions of the regression, and what are these assumptions. It includes linearity of independent variable and dependent variable, normality of residues, independence of error or residuals, absence of multicollinearity between independent variables, absence of outliers, absence of heteroscedasticity. So, why we need to test the assumptions of regression? Checking assumption is crucial for valid regression analysis because the validity and reliability of your regression results depend on the extent to which the underlying assumptions are met. So failing to meet these assumptions can lead to bias and inefficient parameter estimates, incorrect standard errors, and flawed statistical inferences. Here are the key reasons why checking assumption is important in regression analysis. So, in order to make your results, your inferences, your estimations valid, reliable, and true, we need to test these assumptions. So, by checking these assumptions, we may be able to validate our inference. We may have a bias-free coefficient estimate. We may have efficient estimate. We may have reliability of predictions. We may have more reliable model interpretations. Our model is generalizable if assumptions are met. Outliers detections, we can do it more easily. We can avoid multicollinearity issues. We can build credibility of our model, and we can meet ethical considerations. These are basically the important consideration with respect to the regression assumptions. Therefore, the regression assumptions are needed to test because we need to have a valid and reliable analysis and estimations. So one by one, I would like to make it clear what are these important considerations. The first one is validity of inference. Valid statistical inference such as hypothesis testing and confidence interval estimations relies on the assumption being met. Violation of assumption can lead to incorrect conclusion. So it means that our conclusion will be incorrect if the assumptions are not met or if assumptions are not valid. So we need to check the assumptions in order to make our conclusion correct and in order to make our predictors and overall model more significant. Then biasness in coefficient estimate. If assumptions like linearity, independence, or absence of multicollinearity are violated, the coefficient estimate may be biased.